What is
This is Exhibit 209, page 7, if you want to look at it in notebooks instead. Do you see that, Dr. Meehan?
Yes.
And do you recognize Exhibit 209 as the SBI report that you had for this case?
Yes.
In that, and is page 7, is that where the results of the testing are listed for the SBI?
Yes. It says results of examination.
Okay. And are there any DNA profiles in the report the SBI provided to Mr. Nifong in this case that's Exhibit 209?
No, they don't specifically list the profiles in the report, and it's not required to list profiles in the report. We do it at DNA Security because we think it's helpful.
Okay. And the report that we were just looking at, your May 12th report, that does list out specific DNA profiles for all 3 of the matches that you listed in that report.
Yes, it does.
If you look again at Exhibit 209, does the SBI report provide results for DNA found that does not match any of the reference specimens?
Well, on the very last paragraph, they have a statement where they say that they cannot draw any conclusion with regard to matches to reference specimens.
Okay. So did they find in that report that there was DNA, but they couldn't match it or draw any conclusions about whether from a reference specimen?
In that statement, that's what I believe that means.
And does the May 12th
They also list a couple of other locations on their results where it says when they exclude the victim from a match in a number of locations. They'll match a stain to a suspect and then explicitly state that it doesn't match the victim.
For example, if you look on the second paragraph there, they talk about profiles obtained from a towel. Do they indicate whether or not it matched any of the players or the reference specimens?
Yes, they do.
And do they also talk about whether or not it did not match any of the other items?
Yes, it says it did not match the victim or the DNA profiles from the swabs from the suspects, and then it gives the numbers, which probably includes all the suspects that they had.
And from reviewing this report, did you understand whether for any piece of evidence item that found DNA, whether they specifically noted whether or not it matched all the reference specimens they had?
Yes, yes, that's what this says.
And does the May 12th report that you provided and went over with Mr. Nifong list those types of results where it says that it did not match or that there are no conclusions?
We have a statement in our report that says we have profiles that do not match, but we don't list those evidence items like they do here, where they actually name the specific items.
And why did you not have specifically noted what evidence item was referenced and whether or not it matched any of the specific?
Well, it wasn't whether or not it matched. We listed, again, our client needed this information for a proceeding, that information being what evidence matched what reference specimens. Now, on its surface, this is not at all unusual to us or in an investigation, where a prosecutor or investigator want to know, what do I have to match data? I need to know as I build my case. And so that's what the report provided. The report was not intended to be an all-encompassing, conclusive report of all the work we did. We did, I shouldn't say we, I should say, I did attempt to make it clear that there is other information here. It doesn't match anything, but it is here, and everybody should be aware of it. And that we did not list that by detail. Had it been a final conclusive report, it would have been listed.
And come back and talk about that in a second, but after going through the written report that you prepared on May 12th, would it have been obvious that you had not provided Mr. Nifong with a summary report like the SBI report we're looking at here?
Objection, formal question.
If you can rephrase that, Mr. Brock.
You said you went through your report with Mr. Nifong on May 12th. Which page of it?
That's correct.
And is the format of that report consistent with the SBI report?
Can ask and answer.
Overruled.
The format of our report is similar in that we list the items that were received and examined. Where the two reports differ is in how we display the results. On our report, we show in detail, you've seen the charts of the profiles of the matches and the evidence and the suspects that make those matches up. The SBI report doesn't do that. And so that's, I think, is the most obvious difference between the two reports.
There's no profiles anywhere in the SBI report?
No, there's no listing of profiles.
Are there any profiles in the SBI report
better.
anywhere?
No.